Hi, my name is Melissa Daniels and I have strabismus. And if you've been following this channel for a while, you will know that I have been working so hard on getting my brain to use both of my eyes together. And it's been a long process involving vision therapy and surgery. But one question that I get all the time is, how did it start? So this video is all about those first few years of my life, being diagnosed with strabismus, congenital esotropia, and what my parents did to help correct that and how it worked. Now, if you want to know more details about this, you can always go to my website, strabismussolutions.com, and I have a timeline there that basically takes you through everything from the time I was born up until now. But this is the video version of that. So when I was born, my parents didn't notice anything at first, but by the time I was about 4 months old, a friend of my mom's mentioned to her, like, did you notice that your daughter's eyes are turning in? And my mom hadn't really thought anything of it. She just thought it was cute that my eyes were crossed, but the friend kind of helped her understand, like, no, this is a serious medical problem and you should take her to an ophthalmologist. They did their research, they asked around, and everyone said, this is who you go to. This is who you go to. And they went in, measured my eyes. I had 45 to 50 diopters of esotropia and was diagnosed with congenital esotropia, which is basically when you were born with your eyes crossed, and they were crossed very severely. And so, as most ophthalmologists do, we started with glasses and patching. So they would patch one eye for a full day, the whole time I was awake, and then they would switch and patch the other eye the next day. And it was very obvious it was not working. My eye turn was actually getting more severe. By the time they decided to do surgery at 6 months, it was at like 55 to 60 diopters. So it had gotten even worse once we tried the patching and the glasses. And so they decided to go ahead and do surgery, did surgery on both of my eyes and got it quite a bit better. But according to the notes, I still had 20 diopters of esotropia. So they gave me glasses with prism to try to help me align my eyes. And so it was really important that I wore those glasses, trying to get my brain to engage both eyes. That time, like that 6 months to 12 months, that's like a huge time for developing stereo vision. So looking at the notes, it's obvious to me that that's what the doctor was hoping to be able to achieve. And unfortunately, yeah, I was coming in like every month or even like every couple weeks, and it wasn't helping at all. I wouldn't wear the glasses. Once the doctor told her how important it was for me to be wearing the glasses, my mom actually went and got a straitjacket and put it on me. I was a 9-month-old little baby, put me in a straitjacket so that I couldn't bend my arms to take off my glasses. And it was really hard for her. She said for about a month, she just held me all day because I would cry. I wanted to pull my glasses off, but she knew how important it was for me to develop good vision. And even though it didn't work, I'm still so grateful that she tried, right? That was everything she knew. And maybe it did work on some level with my peripheral or something, maybe something did work, but according to all the notes from my doctor's visits throughout the years, I never had any sort of stereo vision. I never used my eyes together. So between the ages of 2 and 7, I did patching, lots and lots of patching. I got old enough to where they could actually do a more, I don't know, in-depth exam because I could actually respond, and realized that I definitely had amblyopia in my right eye. And so instead of alternating from one eye to the other for patching, we just only patched the left eye. Most of the day I was wearing a patch, and then always glasses as well. And the amblyopia, the vision in my eye was like 120 in my right eye and like 30/20 in my left eye. And so after patching and all of that, we got it to 20/30 and 20/20. And so I never had to patch again after about age 7, which was fantastic. I love not having to patch. I was lucky enough, I never really got teased in school. I went to a really small school, and I was with the same group of kids from kindergarten up until 4th grade. And so this whole time that I was patching and wearing glasses and all of this, I was with the same group of kids, so they were used to it. They knew from kindergarten I was the girl who wore patches and glasses and never got teased, and I don't think anyone noticed my eye turn because it was covered with a patch. The notes are unclear like I was saying before about the exotropia, esotropia, right? Like they're saying my eye was 20 diopters in, and then all of a sudden it switches to exotropia, and it was just slight, and then it slowly got worse and worse. And by the time I was 7, it was about 20 diopters of exotropia, and they decided to do a 3rd surgery. The results were great. My eyes were really close to perfect alignment. You know, the notes say 0 to 5 diopters of exotropia. So that was pretty minimal. And I only came in I think they said don't come in for another couple of years. And so we continued. I didn't have to patch, but I continued wearing glasses with prism and going through life. And when I came when I was 9 years old, they basically said, you've gotten as far as you can get, and you're stable, your vision is very stable. You don't need to worry about wearing glasses anymore. I never wore glasses again. And there's only one more note. When I was 12 years old was the last time I went to the ophthalmologist. And so I went in because I felt like the vision in my right eye was really blurry. And it's funny because in the notes, it was still 20/30 in my right eye and 20/20 in my left. But I think I just became more aware by the time I was 12, and I was like, you know, I would do this kind of thing and I'd be like, something's wrong with this eye. It's not as good. Like I just didn't realize. And there's also a note that it was turning occasionally, like it was intermittently turning out, but I didn't even notice that. I just noticed the blurriness was bothering me. So went in when I was 12, and they didn't really say much. They basically, I can't even remember how it ended, but I just never went back. We moved far away. We moved to California, and that was the last time I went to an ophthalmologist until I was 32 years old. And so they definitely, like all that work they did when I was little, it got my eyes to a place where they were stable, where my eyes weren't turning too much. They still would intermittently, but for the most part, they stayed within the range that it wasn't noticeable to the naked eye, you know, within 15 to 20 diopters of exotropia. So they're just a little bit out. Every now and then we'd get a school picture that it looked really bad, but for the most part, it was just when I was tired, my eye would wander more. And so I think they decided to stop, my parents, the doctors, because it was like they did so much for so many years and got me to where they thought was the best I could get. In the next video, I'm going to talk a little bit more about how this affected me in school, during high school, college, and the things that I noticed while I was in school that made it challenging, and what the eye turn meant for me in those years. And then in future videos, we'll kind of talk about how I discovered vision therapy and why I decided to go that route. So subscribe and you'll get notifications when that next one posts, but I post every Friday. So keep looking for these videos if you want to hear the rest of the story. We'll see you in the next one.